Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So, as you could tell by the title of this video, I want to talk about the large storm that is occurring across southern Canada, bringing showers and storms across a good portion of the east. And if you're not getting impacted by rain currently, you may get impacted by some, or you're just dealing with cloud cover. Also, I will briefly go over the tropical storm threat, possibly even a hurricane headed for the United States. It really kind of blew up over the past couple of hours, or really the past day, the chances. And it looks as of now, according to the National Hurricane Center, that a Category 1 hurricane will make landfall in Louisiana Tuesday. But let's take this one by one. So, if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing. Obviously, don't subscribe just because I told you to. Watch the video, check out the channel. I'm just giving you a reminder. You can subscribe if you'd like. And if you are a returning viewer, liking the video would be awesome. So thank you for that. Let's get into this video. First off, let's talk quickly about this tropical storm. So I was thinking about making a separate video, but I don't know if I'll have time to do that. By the way, my mouse is kind of broken, so you can see it's doing a crazy dance today. So I do apologize if the mouse is doing a dance. It's happy for, I guess, some reason. Alright, so this is Tropical Storm Sally. As of now, you can see there's going to be a very large rain threat with this. It looks as if it will bring a lot of rain towards the coast. I mean, some areas possibly seeing up to 20 inches of rain. A good chunk of area seeing 10 to 15, and even some areas seeing 15 plus. But you can see that dark purple above 20. So a large area of heavy precipitation. This will stay mainly east of where the previous hurricane hit. This will be more centered towards New Orleans, right? And let's go quickly to the warning / cone. You can see right there, storm, tropical storm, and then a hurricane. A hurricane is 74 miles per hour or greater, and they're expecting for that to strengthen into a hurricane by Monday. So in 2 days, and then it makes landfall right by really New Orleans. But again, you can see that the cone is still pretty big. They have quite a bit of uncertainty still, and I'm just saying New Orleans. I'm not saying you'll get a direct impact. That's just really the largest city in the threat. Also, Mobile, Alabama, though, could be potentially impacted by this. And you can see this is not the cone of impacts, if you will. It's a cone of where the track could go. Track of uncertainty. I mean, if it takes the bottom track, it could go through the similar areas. But if it takes the northern track, it could not even be close to really those areas. So the areas I'm referring to, Lake Charles areas that got hit last time by Hurricane Laura. Again, this is looking to be a Category 1 at this point, not a major hurricane, but again, it's a constantly evolving situation. So definitely keep up with the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service already put out hurricane, I think, warnings? Oh no, watches, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, hurricane watches and storm surge watches. So definitely be on top of this, as this could definitely be a life-threatening inundation, as really a lot of those areas are low-lying. And you can see Category 1 hurricane, so not the worst, right? But it's a Category 1 hurricane, and it shouldn't be undermined. So let's now look towards the big storm that is occurring out in the west, or in the east, and let's talk about this. So this is the European model. And notice, this is as of right now. We have a large area of precipitation, a bit scattered, right? Kind of not uniform across the Midwest and into portions of the southeast. Here's the tropical storm. Storm at this point. And then as we push this forward, you can see this storm gathers up more precipitation, starts spitting some pretty strong winds. There could be some gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour close to the center, but most people don't live around here. Really by the large Canadian cities and towards the northeast, it looks as if it will be mainly not too bad. The wind should stay further up to the north. But you can see a large precipitation shield forms really early tomorrow, starts forming early tomorrow, and a large cold front seems to form throughout the mid-Atlantic and into the southeast. So that could definitely be a bit of a threat for some severe-ish weather, if you will. The threat isn't overly high, but heavy rain, small hail is definitely still possible, and that could still ruin your plans. Notice this turns into a pretty large cluster of rain, and if you're looking at this and you're saying, oh, that's in Canada, we don't worry about that. No, on this channel, I do like talking about Canada. And look at this. I'm showing the U.S. and I'm showing much of southern Canada, and most Canadians live within this area. So I'm just going to start including Canada in my forecast. And notice that we have a good portion of southern Canada under this precipitation shield. And if we put this forward, you can see this moves to the north and northeast, really north of, or just moving north of Nova Scotia into Labrador, Newfoundland, and eastern Quebec. So that is definitely going to be providing quite a bit of rain for those areas. But then notice the high pressure comes in with a bit of a cool off, and our attention turns towards this storm right here, which is obviously Tropical Storm Sally. By the way, the Atlantic is just overflowing with storms right now. You can see there's various storms going in and out. Now, a lot of those won't make it on shore, right, like Tropical Storm Sally, but there are still plenty of threats to watch for. And also notice that with this hurricane, we could be looking at a storm that kind of combines these two. Combines with the system to the north, what we saw with Tropical Storm Laura. So definitely interesting to see if that happens. We'll have to monitor that. But let's take a look at the total accumulated precipitation as of Tuesday. So once the rain across the northern U.S. is done with the system we're seeing, you can see 1 to 2 inches across Canada and into the northeast and into the UP, 1 to 2 inches. It shouldn't be awfully a lot, right? But definitely it could, especially where the storms could form. You know, an isolated 3 to 4 inch amount isn't out of the question. You may be wondering, why am I seemingly ignoring these amounts on here? Well, I'm not really ignoring them. I will show you them. You can see 13, 14 inches. But the fact is that this is a hurricane, right? And I tend not to talk about hurricanes that much on this channel and tropical storms because, see, if I forecast something wrong and it's a hurricane, that could be very significant, and it could cost me a lot of damage, and it could just, you know, really be a significant factor if I get something wrong about a hurricane. For that, I just, you know, say National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service. I wouldn't really watch a YouTube channel specifically for hurricane advice. I mean, maybe as a supplement for sure, but not as a main source. And about, you know, these type of storms, these aren't life-threatening. This is life-threatening. These aren't. So I'm able to talk about these, but when it comes to a life-threatening situation like a hurricane, I'd prefer to leave it to the professionals. Yes, they may get it wrong as well, but at least they're coined the professionals, and they are. I mean, they are. National Hurricane Center is extremely apt, and they are able to predict very well. So for that information, go there. I will still show you the rain amounts. This storm looks to take its sweet old time across the south, and you can see some of these amounts are ridiculous, up to 20 inches. So that definitely would lead to flooding, and you can see that's pretty much life-threatening, even as far north as Tennessee. And not to mention the storm surge as well. And just look at the 240 hours out. Tons of rain across the Atlantic Ocean and across the eastern U.S. Not that much across the west. Northwest may be getting on some, though. So that is definitely something I wanted to point out. Let's take a look at the GFS, let's look at the HRRR model. This is a high resolution model. It goes out only to 36 hours, but it sacrifices its long-term forecasting for its short-term accuracy. So let's take this hour by hour. Right now, by the way, the HRRR model likes to really under-display what the radar looks like. You can see this is what it shows the radar as of right now, and if I were to show you the radar, it's a bit more impressive. So right now, the biggest concern is storms across Florida from Tropical Storm Sally, and across the Mid-Atlantic from a tropical moisture, but not directly related with Tropical Storm Sally. And you can see some storms, maybe even some severe ones, and even if they're not severe, they could last over a certain area for a long enough time. And these are very efficient rainmakers, so they could lead to flooding. And you can see it slowly tracks to the east over time. We see showers and storms developing and dying. Very light areas of rain across the northern United States. But we see this kind of intensify into tomorrow. You can see the HRRR model does develop this cold front. It's a bit weaker than I think it would be. I think it'll be a bit stronger than what the HRRR model is showing, but it definitely is showing some storms, and I think that's good that it's even showing them in the first place. I mean, you know, that's already some sort of agreement with other models. And so definitely if you live across Tennessee, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, definitely keep an eye out for some of these storms. They could definitely pack a punch. Also, southern Canada, you're more likely to see a better dose of rain because there will be a more widespread area-wide rain event, and you can see that moves into southern Canada, and then we could see Tropical Storm Sally spinning away right there with loads of precipitation coming out ahead of it. Let's take a quick look at the NAM 3KM, so the North American model for the 3 kilometers, and Let's wait for this to load. I just want to quickly go over the storm again for today and the rest of tonight. The storm threat looks highest across parts of Illinois, Indiana, and into the mid-Atlantic, west of the mid-Atlantic, really the mid-south, Tennessee, Kentucky. Wouldn't be surprised if you do see a few storms in mid-Atlantic though. This pushes, you can see overnight, it kind of dies down, but then early tomorrow, again, we start seeing a lot more precipitation across southern Canada, so definitely the Canadian viewers, if you're watching this from Canada, obviously, if you're Canadian, just get ready for some rain, some showers, and just overall dreary day tomorrow. And you can see the NAM 3KM does display this cold front, but it is a bit limited, and again, you can see it does show tropical storm Sally at a pretty strong intensity right here, but again, this is just one model. Let's take a look at the NAM 12KM. This is relatively a pretty good model, right? It's a North American model, a high resolution model. It does have its flaws, tends to have a cold bias, but right now we're not talking about snow, so that's okay. Notice showers and storms widespread, and we do see that cold front developing tomorrow. Let's take this a bit in time so I could show you, well, the mouse is doing the dance again. All right, now it stopped. And I just want to show you, you can see quite a bit of rain right there across southern Canada. And we see a hurricane possibly headed for Bermuda. And so that's definitely a bit of a concern. Right there you can see there's Bermuda. And you can see that the NAM 12KM also keeps the Tropical Storm Sally pretty strong. We'll have to monitor that for sure, but it's not a given that this will occur. I want to quickly show you the GFS just to show you the scope of this storm system, the one that's occurring right now, because a lot of you may be thinking this is a weak storm and I'm overhyping it or of some sort. I just want to quickly show you North America, and I just want to show you how strong this storm actually is, where the center is. And right now, right there it is. You can see 992 millibars of pressure, and strengthens into a beast off of the coast of Quebec. Really doesn't hit Nova Scotia too bad. Could affect portions of Labrador and Newfoundland, but it kind of goes to the north and east of those locations. But it definitely does provide a lot of moisture for some storms tomorrow. And it's actually the main factor as to why this storm right here, this hurricane, is going to get driven out. You could see, because if it wasn't for this cold front, it could have gotten closer to the northeast, which would have been bad, but thankfully it doesn't. And this storm kind of saves our butts in this situation, so definitely a bit good news. Then we have seen more storms coming through, and definitely just an active season this year, and that's what they predicted, and they're pretty much spot on. And you can see that this is a previous model run. It has this inching closer, but then yet another storm grows a cold front and saves us and puts it out into the North Atlantic. And then we see some sort of a tropical disturbance here combining with the front. Very far out, right? But I just want to show you that the hurricane season remains active. Also notice the cold air pushing further and further to the south as we near October. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.